Hey there, it's Julie Hutchison here, live on a Friday afternoon from Think, Be, Do Leadership, helping you to grow so that you can grow your team, so you can grow your business. And it's, what is it, 1:45 on a Friday afternoon. And have you still got any energy left? A few more hours to go. And the reason I was asking that question is because today I want to talk about boundaries. Are you missing some in your business? Are you missing some for you as a leader? Because what I've been experiencing recently is people telling me so much that they are fed up with people knocking on their door saying, what's next? What do I do? How do I do this? I don't understand how to do this. Please tell me how to do this. And there's a constant stream or even a queue of people outside your door. So if you're listening to this live, is there a constant stream of people asking you what to do next? Is there a queue of people outside your door? And if you're not listening to this live, then if it's on replay, please say #replay and let me know if that's true for you. And the problem is that so many people I'm seeing at the moment are saying, I don't know how I get anything done. I'm exhausted because I have this people asking me all the time. Now, the problem is as soon as you get concentrating on something, like you're trying to be strategic in your business and there's a knock at the door and suddenly your head's up, what you were doing was missing. What you're doing is like out of the window. And I don't know, Jim comes in and says, oh, can I just pick your brains for a moment? That's a good one. Or Bob says, oh, can I just have a moment? Could I just take a minute? I just have a little question. And these words are just, or pick your brains for a minute, sound like tiny little things, don't they? But the reality is, if you're trying to get something done, whether it be like super strategic or whether you're trying to do some business development or whatever you're trying to do in your business, when you've got people knocking on that door and they are taking your time away, it isn't just the time that they come in and they stop you from doing it. It's not like the 5 minutes that they thought they were taking up. Invariably, that actually takes up longer, doesn't it? Have you noticed that? It's never just the 5 minutes that they say it's going to be. It's normally like half an hour or something. But the problem is that it isn't just that half an hour that takes, because it's the time in which that you've lost the concentration that you had. It's the time that where you've lost the ability to really, be in flow of what you are thinking about and what you were getting on with, so that you can focus on this thing. And then after that, once you've done that, you've said, right, okay, I'll show you how to do that, or I'll tell you what to do. Then there is the need for ramping back up again to get back in the flow. So it's never just the half an hour. It's like half an hour either side, because you've lost what you were doing. You've lost that momentum and you've got to get that back again. And that could be an hour and a half out of your day. Now imagine, okay, let's be nice about it and say maybe it's 45 minutes out of your day. But imagine if that happens, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times a day with different people, or the same person over and over again. So you're going to lose this momentum that many times. You're going to lose this time across your 8-hour day or however long it is for you. You're going to just lose all that time. And so we look at sometimes, I don't know if about you, but I've been there myself, where I've got to the end of the day and thought, why have I not done anything? Because I didn't seem to have that much to do, but I don't seem to have achieved the thing that I wanted to achieve, the thing that was important on my list. And we look around and think, well, what happened there? And the reality is, it's these people coming in and knocking on the door that it's kind of like invisible time snatchers, in that they take up so much of our time and so much of our thought process that we lose the ability to do the thing that we need to do. And if you're the owner of the business or you're a leader in the business, then you need to be developing and strategizing and growing people and not doing it for them. And the problem is that you are possibly doing too much for them. And well, what do you do about that then? Because you don't want to say like, no, I'm locking my door, you're not coming in today, although that is a strategy. Today is a day where you're not coming in. But the issue we've got here is around boundaries, because if you're allowing that to happen, then we can't blame other people for their behavior, because behavior breeds behavior, and your behavior of allowing this to happen is encouraging and showing them that they can come in and talk to you. But there's a bigger thing at play here, because I want to know from you is, when they come in, are they coming in saying, well, I've been thinking about this, and this is my idea, and this is what I'm thinking of doing. And actually, I've got these are the 3 things that I was thinking of, and I just want to run that past you. Final check. Is it like that? Or do they come in and say, oh, I don't know how to do this? Or can you show me what to do? And you jump in and you do it for them. There's difference. Or do they come in and say, oh, by the way, Bob, I've done this already, just throwing it there so that you know I've done it. So different amounts of involvement that you would have. And what I'm finding is a lot of people are actually stepping in and doing that piece of work or doing that thinking for that person. And you might think you're being kind or you're just saving some time, because if you do it, you're going to get it done. They're going to go away and you can get on with your work. But the problem is that's not setting up either boundaries of people coming in at all, or boundaries of how people deal with you, how you help people. Because as leaders, our job is not to do everything, is it? You know that, and I know that. But that gets confused sometimes, because we think that helping somebody, because we're a nice person, because we're the boss, we should help our staff. But we think with helping somebody, that means showing them what to do or doing it for them so that they can go away. And that doesn't work in the long run, because they come back, because we have just rewarded them with, either doing it for them or showing them what to do. And you might think, well, of course, Julie, that makes complete sense. Why would I not? Excuse me. But the problem is as a leader, that's really not our job. And it's nuanced, but it's very specific. And that is that our job is to help people make better decisions. Our job is to help people to think better so that they can make better decisions in our business to support the goals of the business and to support you in achieving it. Yeah. So if our job is not to know everything or solve everything or do everything, our job is to make better decision makers and make better thinkers, then by giving that person the answer or by doing it for them when they knock on your door, you are encouraging them to come back and not to grow themselves, and you're not helping them to grow. And remember, we want them to be better decision makers. Well, how do you do that? Well, you have to help them to think better. And the only way to do that is to show them how to grow. So what happens is our short term, like I need to get this person out of my office, leads us to not to parenting them in a way, I would say. It's like parent leadership of solving the problem for them. And I often talk about, like, let's put the example of shoelaces here. If somebody came to you and says, boss, I don't know how to tie my shoelaces, are you going to get down on the floor and tie their shoelaces for them? Let's hope not, unless, they've got a problem with their hands or something. But if they come in and say, I don't know how to do my shoelaces, when we're a parent, we could say, oh, I'll do that for you because we're trying to get to school or we're trying to get out the door quick. Yeah. But we all know that at some point that kid's got to learn to tie their own shoelaces. Otherwise, you're going to be there when they're 24. And the same principle applies here, in that we do not want to just solve their problem by tying their shoelaces. We want to help them to think, how do I do that? What would I be doing? How do I think about that? What could I do? How could I do it? And that's where we need to change these boundaries, is to put the idea in their head that actually we want to grow them, and that we're going to challenge them, and we're going to ask them questions, and we're going to coach them rather than tell them what to do. Now, if you just jump straight into this, it can be a little bit tricky, because people don't like the fact that suddenly you're not going to give them the answer to the question, because that was easy before. But it's easy for them, but it doesn't grow them. And eventually they'll get bored and they'll want more, and they'll go and leave anyway. And they'll blame you for it because you didn't grow them. So what I would suggest is that you learn to coach your staff rather than giving them the answers. And you say, Julie, that's going to take me ages. I don't know how to coach. Well, we do teach that on the Leaders Launchpad. So if you want to change from one of those non-boundaries leader who's doing everything for people, and you want to learn to coach people, and you want to learn how to help people make the decisions, then please let me know, and we will see how we can help you on the Leaders Launchpad. But in the meantime, we need to change the way you're thinking about this so that you can learn how to speak to people, so that you change those boundaries and they understand that when they come to you, you're going to, at the very least, push back and say, what do you think you could do? that the best question in the world, yeah, when somebody asks you, how do I do this? What do you think you could do? What have you tried already? What else could you try? Okay, great. Try that and then come back to me if you need to. Okay. Even those little words here will start to create some boundaries for people, because what they're going to realize is that when they come, before you used to give them the answer, they go away happy. And then suddenly they're having to think and they're like, oh, that was a bit harder because he or she made me think. And then the next time they come, they're going to just stand outside that door probably and think, hold on a second. I'm going to get asked some questions instead of being given this answer. Maybe I'll think about those questions first. Maybe I'll prepare myself for those kind of questions. Now, if this doesn't happen the second time, it will probably happen the third or the fourth time. So you need to change your behavior so that they recognize that when they come and ask you, they're going to be asked these questions. They're going to be coached, not led, not told. And therefore, they need to be starting to learn to think on their own 2 feet. Now, what will happen, the delight of this, is that eventually they're going to think, hold on a second, every time I come here, I get asked, what do I think? And they'll probably start to learn how to think for themselves. And they won't come to your door because they know there's no point, because you're just going to take them through a process, which they're going to learn themselves anyway, which is how to think. Yeah. So you're showing them. And it's the difference between I do or we do together and then they do. Okay. So we're leading them towards they do, they think, rather than relying on you or me to think. Yeah. And there's a process we take them through. So I would suggest that you practice that. And if you want help with that and you want help with changing the way you or the people in your leadership team are working with people, if they're not very good at delegating, or if they're getting too involved in the weeds, then this is probably why, because they're telling people what to do rather than growing people. Okay, we need to grow people. So if you want some help with that, or you want some help with that for your team, then get in touch and I'll show you how we can do that. That is my contribution for this afternoon. Hopefully that was useful. And if you have any comments, please pop them in the comment section there. If you would like to join the Quiet Leaders with Impact Facebook group, then please do. I'll pop the link in the comments as well. The Leaders Launchpad is there for all of you who want to grow either yourself or the leaders within your business so that you can grow your business by growing your team. Have a wonderful weekend and I will see you on Monday. Bye-bye.